Well, we're talking to a woman in a Mannin shed. Jackie Brightson is with us today. Jackie, you've been involved how long?
Well, I'm actually the chief executive of Live at Home, which is the charity that overrides
Explain to me
Mannin
then,
Sheds.
Live at Home and Mannin Sheds,
Okay,
how are they connected?
Okay, so Live at Home is a charity on the island that looks to combat social isolation and loneliness in older people generally. As part of the development of Live at Home, it was decided that we would try and look at the scheme that similarly had run in the south of the island,
right.
Mannin Sheds, that seemed to be extremely popular and was a different need for people that were finding themselves a little bit lonely, a little bit isolated.
How long's Live at Home been around?
We've actually been on the island 22 years this year. We're probably one of those groups that some people know because they've got people or relatives that go along to our activities, but I don't think we're as well known as we'd like to be, so this is a great opportunity to raise awareness.
So what's the overarching purpose of Live at Home? What does it seek to do?
Well, but basically to try and stop people from feeling isolated and lonely and get them back into their communities and mixing with people again.
Okay.
Now, the problem is obviously as we all get older, and unfortunately we are all getting older because we all will age, you find that you might lose things like your own independence, you might not be able to drive anymore, you'll have a condition of some sort, maybe medically, that'll stop you getting yourselves out and about. So Live at Home are there to sort of scoop people up and take them and keep them in the communities and keep them active and hopefully stop them then becoming, having to access healthcare and social care at an earlier age than they should have.
Well, where does your money come from?
A lot of it is we have to raise it ourselves, unfortunately. I mean, there's a lot of charities on the island all in similar situations. We do get a small grant from government, but it's about 16% of our running costs, and the rest of it we have to run and
so
through
you
donations.
have to find 85p in the pound?
Yeah, at least.
And what sort of fundraising do you do?
Well, we've started off doing quite a lot of small stuff. So we've done bingos and we've done quizzes and we've done things like that. But over the last couple of years, I've tried to develop new aspects. So we had our first Live at Home ball last year in November. We've had our first golf day, and these are all things that we're looking to develop. But we're looking to develop other aspects where we can get better income coming into the organisation.
Annie Pearson's with us as well. Fantastic scarf, Annie.
Thank you.
And what's your position here? What do you do?
I manage the Mannin Sheds and do fundraising for Live at Home.
How many days a week is it open?
It's open Monday to Thursday, 10 till 3.
Right, okay. And how do you do you find people to come in, or do they just pitch up, or how do they get referred here? What happens?
Well, some get referred. You have some of the social workers will bring gents up, some is families, and we do try and do a bit of advertising locally. And we have a newsletter that goes out, so it's still in the early stages. Yes.
How long has it been going now?
2 years.
Right.
Yeah, and the membership has doubled, although it's very small. But
people can self-refer.
Yes, yeah, so people can self-refer, you know, if they're not doing anything. It's word of mouth, really, because as I say, we don't really have the funds to advertise as much as we'd like to.
Well, let's get the word out there today then. What sort of people, what sort of men come here? What are the blokes like here? We're going to talk to lots of them.
Yes, well, originally it was for over 60s, but we have a couple of younger men coming in that have had mental health issues, and there's nothing really, there's lots of things for youngsters with mental health issues and older people with mental health issues, but the sort of middle gap, there's not a lot for them. So we've got 2 young chaps that come up here and they'll just sit and have a chat to other people, maybe wander around the workshop and, you know, do bits and pieces to help.
Where did the Mannin Sheds, as I said, originated in Australia in the 1990s? So this is. So what does it seek to do for the men, for the blokes, the guys who come here? What do you think they should get? They need to get out of it?
Companionship, just hearing their own voice. Some people are at home all week and don't even speak to anyone, so it's just a chance for them to come and meet other people and just find companionship, have a chat.
It's very industrial in here. Let me tell you, I came in here and I'm the sort of person who runs the other way for DIY, but this is wall-to-wall machinery in here. It smells of wood, which is delightful.
Yes.
Is this all woodwork?
Yes, it is woodwork. Now, what we've been doing lately is all of these Christmas decorations, birdhouses and things, the men make here, and then we sell them to raise funds for Mannin Sheds.
Right, okay.
We also
whereabouts do you sell them?
Well, it has been just really Christmas fairs and things like that, so we're looking on marketing that in a better way this year, maybe have a pop-up shop or something like that.
Okay, and you've been involved here, how long did you say now?
I've well, about a year now.
Right, okay.
But with Live at Home for 5.
Right, okay. Do you enjoy it here?
Yes.
You seem to enjoy
Yes,
it. Seems
I
a
do.
very happy bunch as well.
They are generally a very happy bunch. Me being the only woman here, they normally tend to pick on me, but I can handle that.
Well, and of course, this is to go back to Jackie Bridson of Live at Home.
Live at Home.
Live at Home. That's right. I've got Annie without an E and Jackie with a Bridson, not Brighton, Bridson as well.
I get criticised for that all the time, but I apologise.
Yeah, it's fine. No need to apologise here. So, this is an ongoing project. Okay.
It is. It's something that was seen as a need for Live at Home because the general background is basically that men don't necessarily like to join in the groups that we offer as Live at Home. So a lot of our groups at the moment are coffees and lunches, and men didn't necessarily want to come along, although that is changing now. So the idea of this was give men an ability to come and do a skill or learn something new, and have a chance to chat in a different atmosphere, and that's the whole concept
Jackie,
of the shed.
what is it about blokes and social isolation and being lonely? Why are men different to women in
Well,
that?
I don't think they are different. I think everybody encounters social isolation at some time. I think with men it's less of a manly thing to admit that you're lonely. It's very hard to admit you're lonely anyway, and equally more difficult, I think, for a man. And that might be a very big generalisation, but that's the sort of thing that we're finding. Although I think now with mental health becoming more and more
Prevalent, yeah.
prevalent, that's the word I was looking for, that people will admit it now, but it is still a very big, difficult thing to say, I am quite a lonely person. And this just gives people an opportunity to come and have a time to do something, but yet have a chance to chat and chew the fat over.
It's like male therapy, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
It's kind of...
We tend to keep away because I think we bring the tone down, so... but we pop in every now and again and we get looked at, don't we? But we are trying to also develop things for women in the shed, because obviously we realise that it's not all to do with men.
A separate shed or a mixed shed?
No, we want to do a mixed shed, and that is maybe something that we'll talk to the members about developing forwards. But we are offering things like workshops for ladies to come and learn to do things like jointing and to use bandsaws and things like that.
Yeah.
And they've made planters for the spring, and they've made wine stands and wine holders. And
who owns the building we're in?
So the building is actually owned by ourselves.
Oh,
the
yeah.
funds were raised to build it
Crikey.
on department land. So we have got a lease
You've
from
got a
the
lease,
department.
right,
Yeah, but
okay.
the actual structure is ours, funded by our.
How do you which government department do you meet? Do you liaise with? Which one?
Majority of time will be Department of Health and Social Care.
How do you get on with them?
I think it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because all of the charities that link in with those sort of departments are all arguing for their own ability to have support from them.
Everyone wants more money.
Absolutely, and it's only a very small pot, and there's a lot of charities on the island all doing equally good work that all want a bit of that pot of money. So it's just a constant battle to try and keep that money coming in. We're trying to develop new ideas, so we're trying not to just go to businesses and say, just give us a check of money, although that'd be lovely. I won't turn it down if you came to me. So we're looking at ways of developing better income streams through doing things like maybe setting up a charity trading arm for the shed and for the things that we develop that way. And I'm just starting to do that and look to do things differently for the charity.
Are you responsible for the one down south as well?
No, that's a separate one. That's Southern Communities Initiative,
Right.
And they actually did it first. So they are the leaders in Men in Sheds. But we do try and link in with them quite a bit and try and share experience and things like policies, procedures, health and safety. We talk to each other about that sort of thing.
Good. Right. Well, we're going to be talking to some of the lads in the sheds, the men in the sheds here shortly. We're live in Ramsey today. The Mannin Line is on the road in the shed, and it smells gorgeous. Back in a moment.